All right. Shalom, Yashala. Call halal Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah Waharaka Kodash Brakatham. I like to give double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders, a great millstone who rule well. Also, I like to give salutations to the select number of Ahchyam, pushing his truth and sincerity in four corners of the round earth. And also salutations to the select number of Aquat that they're listening. What I like to get into is bros knowing, what time we're in. And just to and like I say, man, that scripture more than more more than ever, that Isaiah 33. Matter of fact, I might as well get that, man. That's coming up more and more, man. You know, gotta read, utilize all this knowledge and wisdom that we've obtained through the years, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shah. Got to utilize it, not even, so-called talking a good game, but just, just utilizing it, man, because we're in a time right now that this is the best time to utilize all this wisdom and knowledge and understanding, man. Because look at all the snares that E is, putting in place, man. And what I mean by that, just if you know that the tribes are being targeted, that would mean, hey, you're just watching your steps, man. You just really watching how you moving. We know Esau is what? He's crafty as hell, man. He's crafty as hell with his BS laws and so forth. But what if Jake is not paying attention? We get it. He's the devil, but at the same time, we're in his kingdom, man. So we got to move in a particular way. And how's that particular way? Hey, if you got warrants, Ahchyam, take care of that. Okay, your registration out on your vehicle, take care of that. You got an out of date state ID, out of date license, take care of that. Do what you can, man. Do what you can. And brothers, we're in a time that brothers will be more than willing to help. It's always been that way. You know, reach out. Hey, bros, I need so forth and so forth. Bros gonna come together and make sure that, brothers are taken care of through the spirit and power of Yahweh. But you have to have you have to have that self motivation though, man. You got to be self motivated, bro. Why just to go in deeper to that? Why would you put brothers in a tighter situation if you haven't taken care of what you need to take? So like, why would you put your camp in a tighter situation than it has to be, rather than just taking care of what you need to do to get taken care of? Or would you rather brothers bail you out, then you got BS court dates when you could just take care of it, man? Brothers, just, if you can, man, take care of what you need to take care of. This is Isaiah chapter 33, verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of Yahweh is his treasure. Okay? That wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. These how the these federal agents moving and stuff they got in place to trip Jake up, man. First and foremost, hey, well, let me see your ID. Man, that's ID, man. Here you go. What they gonna do? All they gonna do is run it, and it should come back. For the most part, I know, we all have different paths that we've walked, before coming into this truth, before being called to do the work, right? So hey, he can be pissed off as much as he want to, but as long as brothers is up to date on what they need to be doing, and brothers and paid their debt to society, staying out the way, you good. If it was, hey, if I felt like carrying my birth certificate, I might just, but bros know where I'm getting at. Why? Because what you have, we have the northern tribe, man, that consists of what? The so-called Puerto Ricans, okay? The so-called Native Americans, the so-called Mexicans, okay? South Central, My bad, South American, Central American Israelites, man. The Latino tribes, man. Okay, Uruguayan, okay, Dominican, Chilean, Mexican, and so forth. Venezuelan, all these Jakes are being what? They're being targeted, man. Yeah, they're being targeted more than ever, man. They, taking as far to go to schools. Snatching kids out of school, going into workspaces and something that even in some of these businesses now they're posting up, hey, this is private, this is a private entity, man. Y'all can't be up here. So you're gonna see a lot more of that, you know, because they know, hey, and that further proves, man, Jake makes the world go round, man. Jake makes the world go round. He has it in his mind that, like, bro, these jobs, because they always said it, but look, um, these these jobs, they always say, well, the Latin tribes do the jobs that no one wants. The fact of the matter is, no one does a good, no one does a better job than the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom, man. No matter what position you put us in, man, we gon' as a well known Texas term, we gonna wreck shop, man. Okay, Issachar, he is hired. Okay, that's what that means when you look it up. Okay, and that is it makes so much sense when you see these so-called Mexicans, bro. Jake be on it. But now what? Hey, now it's come, to what? Jake is being targeted, the Northern Kingdom, and make no mistake, like I always say, okay, the Southern Kingdom is beginning to get targeted as well, you know, which, you should, just have your ID just to avoid BS, man. Okay, have your ID to avoid BS. Don't give Lee, so like, don't give E a leg up, and that's gonna be the title of this lesson. Okay, do not give him a leg up, man. Okay, verse 6 again. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of Yahweh is his treasure. Okay, so we really have to utilize that, Ahchyam. Like, you know, as the saying goes, just really just stay out, just stay out the way, because it's like, man, this place is done for. It's really not too much to really, you know, to expect from this devil, but the devil's going to do what the devil's going to do. Okay, this is Romans chapter 13 verse 1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of the Most High. The powers that be are ordained of the Most High. Meaning what? The Most High is in control, bro. So, Ahchyam, when we get pulled over, hey, hey, how you doing, officer? Oh, yeah, you're so and so. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I didn't even recognize that. When you happen to have your license and registration, bro, they gonna get there so quick. Because guess what? I want to go home, and I'm pretty sure they want to go home. And yeah, we get it, bro. It be some Jake too, who be, however, some do based quota shit, and some officers actually just, may just be doing their job, to be honest. And this comes from cops, bro. Okay, I've heard well decorated officers, well decorated law enforcement. Okay, people from the judicial system will let you know, bro. You got some cops who are pricks. You got some officers who cool. It just is what it is. Well, you know what, bro? They can look up, bro. I know my record clean. You know what I'm saying? But hey, we're in Babylon. It's all type of BS, Well, bro, I ain't got no argument for them. I'm trying to get to the crib, bro, or to wherever I gotta be. We should all be in that mindset, because it's really nothing to go back and forth about. You know, now if it's something on your record that you don't know about, bet, like, oh well, hey, I honestly didn't know, and and stay on top of that as best as you can. Go through your email, make sure you didn't get no moving violation or whatever they have going on, with the with these tickets, traffic tickets, right? So just just some words of advice, man. Just take care of what you got to, you know, because you don't want to give E a leg up, you know, because it's it's just really not worth it, bro. Sitting there arguing, man, I ain't fit to be arguing, bro. You know, verse 2: Whosoever therefore resisteth the power resisteth the ordinance of the Most High, and they that resist shall receive themselves damnation. It's like, bro, we're in captivity. So, the Lord set it up this way for Jake to stay in line, man. It's like, bro, for real, to keep it a buck, like, there's no reason to be out here just wilding out. To be quite honest, especially if you're in the truth. Now, and then to what? You got Jake who's not in the truth, who like, bro, who are so-called, law abiding citizens, which we're law abiding citizens, right? Bros they pay their taxes, bros take care of, if they do have a violation, bros pay their mortgage, their bills, stay on top of that, man. We're men, we're adults, we're doing what adults supposed to do, and especially being in this truth. We're to be pillars and we're to be examples, amongst one another, man. That it's not a good look not to take care of your bills or put yourself in a jam. Now if some shit coming up, be like, oh snap, bro, jump on it early, notify the body, hey bros, man, it's been kind of tough, this and that, bro's gonna work it out through the spirit and power of Ahchyam Shah. But you sitting there letting stuff build up and so forth, it's not good, But let me continue. This is back in verse 3. For rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil. Okay? Bro, a lot of cops get you out of there so fast. Hey man, when you coming from the turn, just make sure to slow down. And then two, it's like it's true, Sometimes people may be it's unfortunate, but some people could be pulled over and have their hazards on, man. You never know. Someone could, someone's vehicle could have just stopped, and you out here, on some NASCAR 500, Daytona 500 type situation. That could be a terrible look for you, man. So just keep that in mind, bro. Because like I always say, man, if you got to rush to wherever you're trying to get to, you should definitely make plans to get up early. Don't get this devil no leg up, man. Don't give him no leg up. Take care of what you got to take care of, bro. Like I always say, bro, it's a good feeling just to drive by the laws and just in and out. Shit, some laws will see you coming. They may get out the way because they don't feel like going any faster. And this is all facts. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'll continue reading. Let me reread that again. For rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil. Wilt thou then not be afraid of the power? Question, right? Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same. Yeah, bro. So if you going on about your day and you ain't doing nothing, bro, cop gonna have you out of there quick, bro. And we always talk about those cameras from law enforcement when they pulling over Jake, man. Jake can have so much as a warning or just, hey man, get this fixed, bro. Then it's a full blown 3 offenses, which include felonies now. You don't went from to stop speeding. Here's a warning. Be on your day. Get that taken care of, or they get you a ticket. Yeah, a lot of times you go to the court to fight the ticket. You'll come out on top. A lot of times cops don't even have time to make those court appearances. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they don't. Would you rather pay the $75 and have a high probability of it getting thrown out, or sitting your dumbass in jail? Think about it, So just, and that dumbass, wasn't to the Ahchyam, but we can't move like dumbass 2/3 out here either, And that's just, we get it. We in captivity, but, move with wisdom, man. Move with wisdom. I know we're all going through it, but man, you know, let's move with wisdom, Ahchyam. Okay? Verse 4. For he is the minister of the Most High to thee for good. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid, for he beareth not the sword in vain, for he is the minister of the Most High, a revenger to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil. Okay? So when these jakes be getting judged like that, and then too, hey, like we say, that's gonna be and there's gonna be blood on E's hand if men aren't doing, if Jake isn't doing nothing. You dig what I'm saying? That's why it's just like, man, just we're just in a phase like, bro, because I'll be honest, I've had my back and forth when I was a young man, and guess what? I was actually right. I was actually right, but I was also mercy and grace being shown to me too. I was like, man, why they stopping me? This and that, this and that. You know what I'm saying? You know, I had my interactions, but hey, I was, the Lord showed me mercy and grace, right? I'm here doing this lesson, right? Many, many, many years later, bro. Like on some, this happened like almost 20 years. Like, you know, never give E a leg up, man. Because once they see you calm, they calm, and that comes from a hostile place. Because if a cop's like, well, this and that, where you, oh man, I'm trying to make it to the crib. Because usually I got a destination. They can feel free to tell me, because I ain't about to go do no bullshit, you know. So they can feel free to tell me, hey man, I'm about to go to this Kroger. I'm about to go to the mall. You know what I'm saying? You know. So there's just something to keep uh sight of. You dig? This is Matthew chapter 5, verse 25. Agree with thine adversary quickly. This is Yahushua Hamashiach speaking. While thou art in the way with him, lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast into prison. Like, bro, ain't nobody got time for that, bro. No one has time to be, of course a brother gonna bond one another out, but that can be avoided just by handling business, man. You know? I know, sometimes we get lackadaisical and stuff. It's frustrating because the system is tacky. We get it. It is tacky as hell. We get it. It's tacky as hell, but just do what we can as men. You know? Verse 26. Verily I say unto thee, thou shalt by no means come out thence till thou hast paid the uttermost farthing. Okay? So a bond and tickets, bro, can really be avoided just handling business, being, just, and it's being cordial too. Of course, like say a car just zoom by, you fell there, going faster than you were going. I ain't fist to bring that to that cop's attention. May make a joke, like, man, like they don't see you pulled over, and it happens from time to time, make a little joke, like, oh man, he's pretty, he's compliant. I just needed his ID and registration, bro. It's a high likely probability at times, bro. You could get off with a warning, bro. Just be mindful, man. Just be mindful, man. We in those times, bro. A lot of these law enforcement, man, they underpaid and overworked and uh, uh, dealing with shortage. Move with wisdom, man. Let me see. Bear me Baba Kwasha. It was right there. Salaki, bear me Baba Kwasha. Believe this, it's another one I want to get. Let me see. It's further up. Bear with me, Baba Kwasha. Oh, it's in the right chapter. I was further up. I was tripping. This is Matthew chapter 10, verse 16. I'm probably gonna finish off here. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. So that's that's what we really got to do. Ahchyam and you Aqua out there. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves, man. Move with wisdom. Don't let E have a leg up. Move with wisdom. But that's all I have for this lesson. And Abaratazah, this has been edifying for the body. So once again, with that, call halal Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah Wahara Kodash Brakatham. Once again, I'd like to give double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to the select number of Ahchyam, pushing the truth and sincerity in four corners of the round earth. And salutations to the select number of Aqua that are listening. Shalom.